So, I want to talk about something that hit me personally. I was banned on TikTok. No explanation, no chance to really fight it, and in one move, I lost all of my work growing my audience there. And that right there is the problem. I had no control over my own account, my own following, or even my own data. So today I want to break down why I think musicians and artists, especially independent ones, should start paying attention to decentralized platforms. Now, when I say decentralized, I'm not talking about crypto and blockchain and all the weird stuff. I mean, pay attention to companies like Blue Sky or Skylight, because these aren't just the next social apps. They're actually building on open protocols that actually give us control. And that means no more starting from scratch every time a company decides to just pull the plug on us. Let's start with the world that we're in right now. So platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, X, they're all what we call centralized. That means one company owns everything. They own all the servers, they own all the rules, they own all the algorithms, and ultimately they own access to your fans. When I got banned on TikTok, it didn't matter how many hours I put into growing my following. It didn't belong to me, it belonged to them. And that's not just TikTok, even YouTube, which still has one of the best platforms for music discovery and tutorials, has artists speaking out lately saying that like ad revenue isn't paying like it used to. I know there's been videos from Bolo, Weaver Beats, and a couple of other people as well. And what happens is the platform tweaks the algorithm, and so they can change the monetization rules, they can shift payout structures, and creators are just kind of left scrambling. Truth is, when we rely 100% on these centralized companies, we're at their mercy. They can silence you, they can demonetize you, or just disappear overnight. Y'all remember Vine, remember MySpace, SoundCloud's basically gone at this point. And every time these platforms leave or change drastically, then the creators are the ones that have to start all over. So what makes decentralized platforms different is this one key thing called open protocols. The best way to kind of give an example would be email. So you know how if you have a Gmail, you can still email someone on Yahoo or with Outlook or Hotmail. They're different apps, but you can send one email from Gmail to a Yahoo user because they all run on the same underlying rules. That's what open protocols do. So Blue Sky actually uses what's called the AT protocol, and it's like authenticated transfer protocol. And then there's a newer one, it's kind of like TikTok Skylight. It's building on the same principles. And so here's what that means for artists. Your account actually belongs to you. So you're not tied to one app. You can take your identity, your profile, your followers with you wherever you go. And you get portable audiences. So imagine you've built 50,000 followers on one app, but the company pivots or it gets bought out or shut down or you don't like the CEO. With AT protocol, you can just move your whole audience to another app on the same network. You're not starting over. And that way you still get all of that data, you still get the followers and everything. Also, this allows for custom feeds and moderation. So instead of one overall algorithm kind of deciding what everybody sees, you get to choose feeds, discovery styles, even like moderation tools that work for you and your fans. And here's the part that kind of blew my mind. So you cannot be banned out of existence. A company can ban you from their app, sure, but your account, your data, your audience still lives on the protocol. You just log into another app and keep it moving. That's something that centralized platforms will never be able to give you because it's keeping you trapped in their business model. And we all know as musicians and artists, producers, we live and die by our audience. Our fans are everything, but on most social media, your fans aren't really yours. They're the platform's users. I mean, think about it. You build a fan base on TikTok. TikTok owns them. You build a channel on YouTube. YouTube owns the subscribers. Even Spotify doesn't let you directly like message your listeners yet. I think it might be coming though. But on decentralized platforms, you're finally in control. So if Blue Sky shuts down tomorrow, I can still take my audience to Skylight or any other AT protocol app because they're starting to build them pretty regularly now. But also, if one app doesn't pay you fairly, you can move your whole community to another app that does. Like imagine, because everyone's complaining about monetization right now. So if YouTube was just tripping and some of the biggest YouTubers were like, I'm just gonna go over to Rumble, and they literally could take all of their subscribers, all of their content, get that moved over instead of just starting from scratch. That'd be amazing. And that creates competition, and so YouTube would either have to step up their game or they'd have to pay creators fairly or what have you. And as an artist, this is huge. It means like our creative work isn't at the mercy of a shifting ad revenue model or censorship decisions by a few executives or censorship by an AI. I think we're at a crossroads. So for decades, artists have been chasing platforms, MySpace, SoundCloud, Vine, TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. And every time we've had to start over. But decentralized protocols are like building your house on a solid ground instead of just renting land. For good or for bad, we've already seen how music streaming has made labels less powerful. So decentralized social media is going to be the next step. It'll make creators less dependent on platforms. And honestly, it's unbannable in the way that matters. Nobody can erase your account, your data, all your following across the whole network. So, to all my fellow musicians and artists and producers and engineers and music hobbyists, if you're tired of being at the mercy of social media companies, if you're tired of losing your fan base every time a platform changes directions, come to Death Row, baby. No, but real talk, just start exploring places like Blue Sky and what's even newer, Skylight. And I'm on both, so you can actually follow me with the links below. Now, I'm not saying delete your YouTube or your TikTok if you still have them. Use them for what they're good at. But make sure you're also building on like a decentralized ground where your following truly belongs to you, if not a website. Because the future of music and art isn't about chasing platforms. It's about owning your connection with your fans. And decentralized networks are, in my opinion, I think that's how we're finally going to get there. It's not going to be perfect. There's going to be some kinks that'll have to be worked out. But I think that it just gives freedom that these other platforms don't have a way to because they're in competition with each other. So if you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, drop a comment if you already are on Blue Sky or Skylight. And then if you are, follow me, I'm trying to build up on there and we'll just kind of see where this goes. So let's just keep this conversation going in the comments. As always, thank you guys for watching. Till next time. Peace.